Greetings and welcome to my channel, Save Our Beautiful Earth. My name is Barry. I am the host and creator of this channel. What you just saw was an old, incredible picture of the amazing American chestnut tree. Just look how huge those trees were. I mean, wow. Those are loggers in the picture and they are dwarfed by the size of the trees. I credit that picture to the Forest History Society in Durham, North Carolina. By any standard, the American chestnut tree was literally a perfect tree. No one knows exactly how many there were, but guesses are that at one time America had more than 3 to 5 billion of these magnificent trees. Huge, fast-growing, fire-resistant, wonderful chestnut trees. Their wood was rot-resistant and easy to use and turn into usable products such as furniture, fence posts, railroad ties, and housing. Hundreds of millions of chestnut board feet were cut and milled, generating a huge timber industry. This is an image of the American chestnuts, burrs, any leaf. This image courtesy of Timothy Van Vliet via Wikipedia. Not only was chestnut wood highly prized, but the magnificent trees produced nuts in abundance that fed bears, deer, squirrels, raccoons, turkey, and human beings. To illustrate how plentiful the nuts were at one time, one railroad station in West Virginia shipped out 155,000 pounds of chestnuts to consumers. And most wonderfully, after being cut, the chestnut tree stump would resprout and regrow all over again to be ready in 20 or 30 years to be cut all over again. This is a map from the American Chestnut Foundation which shows their natural range from southern Maine to Florida and west to the Mississippi River. The huge chestnut trees dominated the forest, with approximately 1 in every 4 of hardwood trees a chestnut tree. Tragically, by the 1870s, our wonderful, beautiful, magnificent, awesome, stupendous American chestnut tree forests were doomed. Americans started to import the Japanese chestnut tree to New York because the Japanese chestnut trees were shorter, which made their nuts more easily harvested. But with the Japanese trees came a fungus blight. The Japanese chestnut trees were resistant to the blight, but the American chestnut trees had no defense. The fungus would attack the American chestnut tree, releasing a toxin that would poison the tree. This is an image of dead chestnut trees in Luray, Virginia from the Library of Congress. It is estimated that 3 to 5 billion of our magnificent chestnut trees died from the blight. What a tragedy. Sometimes the stricken tree would still be alive at the roots and would try to resprout again and again, but the new growth would also die from the blight. No one knows for sure how many, but it is estimated that there are millions of wild chestnut trees in Appalachia right now, still trying to grow, but the blight eventually kills the new saplings also. At present, in their former eastern range, survival of large chestnut trees is very rare. However, in the American West, settlers took seeds of the American chestnut tree with them, and huge chestnut trees can still be found in the west of America and in other places in America. So they are not extinct, but trying to restore chestnut trees to their original range just leads to their death from the blight. With the beautiful chestnut trees dead or dying, a way of life in rural America also died. However, there is hope. Researchers at State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry have engineered and grown transgenic American chestnut trees that are blight resistant. The transgenic chestnut trees are not immune to the blight, but they are able to resist the blight. The researchers inserted a specific gene from wheat into the American chestnut genome. The inserted gene breaks down the acid which the fungus produces. The fungus is not killed by the inserted gene, but it allows the infected tree to heal around the fungus canker and continue to grow even while infected. Most wonderfully, the inserted gene is passed down as a genetic inheritance to the infected tree's offspring, so that the new generation of chestnuts also has partial blight resistance. The new transgenic blight-resistant chestnut trees have not yet been released from the government regulation. There is another program which is trying to develop blight-resistant American chestnuts. It is called the American Chestnut Cooperators Foundation, known by the acronym ACCF. ACCF has selected surviving American chestnut trees known for native resistance to the blight and has been intercrossing the selected trees. A third program is called backcrossing, which is crossbreeding the American chestnut with European and Asian chestnuts. The American Chestnut Foundation, known by the acronym ACF, has backcrossed blight-resistant Chinese chestnut trees into American chestnut trees and then have intercrossed the backcross generation. The first backcrossed American chestnut tree survived the blight for 25 years, and grafts from these trees have been used by the ACF since 1983. None of the new chestnut trees has full resistance to the blight, but progress has been made. I support restoring our magnificent and wonderful American tree, and I think we can do it if we continue to try. Just look at the wonderful efforts so far of the researchers at State University of New York, ACCF and ACF have done. A shout out to the State University of New York, ACCF and ACF. Good job and keep going. You can do it. I believe and I submit to you that we need to reforest America and help the world reforest also. And bringing back our wonderful American chestnut tree would be a great help to this goal. We all need to become more sensitive about keeping and preserving our environment, because preserving Mother Nature is not a luxury. Mother Nature is what keeps us alive. This planet Earth has to last us and our descendants forever. There are no other planet Earths around. Thank you for watching my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Hang in there. Have a good day, and goodbye.